Okay, so guys, in this video we are going to solve some dirty example related to the integrals. So these functions are actually being multiplied. So let's see. First of all, let's multiply these things. X square, x multiplied x will be x squared, minus 3x 1 multiplied by x plus x, minus 3 multiplied by 1 will be negative 3 dot dx. Now you know what we can, like in the derivative thing, we can separate the integrals on all of these functions. So we will have integral of x squared dot dx minus the integral of 3x dot dx plus the integral of x dot dx minus the integral of 3 dot dx. Okay, so now let's try with the basic. The integral of 3 dot dx will be negative 3x. I told you in the previous video, plus the constant of integration, of course. And the integral of x, of course, it is having a power 1, so it will be the function, then the power plus 1 divided by the same factor over here, plus same thing over here. 3 is a constant, it will be separated, so negative 3. X is having a power 1, so we will have x 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. Same thing over here, we have x, the function, then the power plus 1 divided by the same factor. So we have x2 plus 1 will be x3 divided by 3 minus 3 x squared divided by 2 plus x squared divided by 2 minus 3x plus c. X cubed divided by 3 minus, this thing can be simplified because these are having the same denominators. So negative 3x squared plus x squared will be negative 2x squared divided by 2, negative 3x plus c. So these 2's can be cancelled and we are left with x cubed divided by 3 minus x squared minus 3x plus c. Now let's try one more. So we have to find the integral of x square root x squared minus 1 dot dx. So this one is actually a bit trickier. Now let me tell you one thing. First of all, let's rearrange this thing. So we have x squared minus 1 power 1 by 2 multiplied by x dot dx. What is the derivative of x squared minus 1? Now I am specifically focusing on this factor right over here, x squared minus 1. Okay. So the derivative of x squared minus 1 will be 2x, right? Which is equal to f first derivative of x. Now what if I derive the value of x? It will be f first derivative of x divided by 2, because 2 will be divided on both sides, 2 will be cancelled from here, x will be left with first derivative of x divided by 2. Now keep this thing in mind that this relationship only works if we are having the same derivative of the variable over here. You see what I'm saying? If we have x as the variable, you should have the same variable of this function right over here, which is present under the power. We need to have the same derivative of this function in front of it, multiplying by it. And on only that case, you can apply this property over here. For our case, we have x squared minus 1. Let's ignore the power because it is n. We have to focus on fx. So our fx is x squared minus 1. So if we see, the derivative of x squared will be 2x, right? We do not have 2x. We only have x. So we have to introduce 2 into this relation so that the derivative comes just in front of it, it is being multiplied, and then we can use this relation. So how we can do that? First of all, x squared minus 1 power 1 by 2, we have x, right? We have to introduce a 2, so let's introduce it, but we cannot introduce it right away. We have to balance the equation, so let's divide it by 2. So if you see, we have 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 2, so 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 2, this will be cancelled and we will be left with 1, which is the same thing right over here, right? So dot dx. Now we can simply separate this 1 divided by 2 because it is a constant. So 1 divided by 2 will be separated out of the integral, and we have x squared minus 1 power 1 by 2 multiplied by 2x dot dx. So if you see, now the equation is really balanced. X squared minus 1, the derivative of x squared minus 1 will be 2x, which is present right over here. We can use that relationship. So we have x squared minus 1, 1 divided by 2 plus 1, n plus 1 divided by the same factor, n plus 1 in the denominator, plus c. X squared minus 1, 1 divided by 2 plus 1 will be 3 divided by 2, and this thing will be right over here, plus c. Now this is the denominator of the denominator, so we can reciprocate and it will become the numerator. So we have 1 divided by 2. First of all, we have 3. This 2 will move towards the numerator. So we have x squared minus 1, 3 by 2 times 2 plus c. So this 2 will be cancelled and we are left with x squared minus 1, 3 by 2 divided by 3 plus c. In the upcoming videos, we will solve more examples related to such situations. Okay.